Week 20 here in USL Championship as New Mexico United ready to do battle with Sac Republic for the first time since Sacramento eliminated the Black and Yellow from the 2022 playoffs. Welcome in, everybody. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined as always by my color commentator Chris Hurst. To our right, we have our Spanish language broadcast team, Manny Esquivel and Johan Jareño. ¿Cómo estás, hermanos?
Tyler, estamos contentos porque el día de hoy se nos viene un gran partido y estará de acuerdo que no solamente vamos a jugar contra uno de los tops de la liga, sino que también Nuevo México viene escalando posiciones y será un gran partido.
Así yo creo que estamos todos bastante emocionados de ver el partido de hoy y ver cómo nos va hoy día.
Thank you, guys. Now, Chris, it's been 2 weeks since the Black and Yellow have been back in league play, but they were here on Wednesday doing battle with a familiar foe of yours, the Black Cats from Sunderland AFC.
Yeah, and obviously finished 3-2 at the end of the game. Goal in the first half by Pierre Ekwa was an absolute thunderbolt of a strike and nearly ripped the goal out of the ground. Second goal was Hamir, where he just held off Austin Yearwood, it was, and popped it with a header in the bottom corner. Then in the second half, early on, there was a goal by Isaac Linhaji, who great save by Ford Parker, but Linhaji was there to pop in the rebound. Then there was goals in the second half late on where for New Mexico United, where Milo Garvania got his first professional goal, and then the debutant as well popped in a PK right at the end to make it a little more interesting right near the end.
Yeah, it was Isaac Zuleta tacking on the last goal for New Mexico. As you mentioned, Chris, finishing 3-2 in favor of your Black Cats. Let's dive further into tonight's matchup with our players to watch, presented by United in Health. Manny Esquivel, go ahead and take it away.
Así es, el día de hoy vamos a ver y uno de los jugadores que tenemos que seguir es justamente Russell Cicerone, quien no solamente lleva 10 goles, ha sido pilar de este equipo, es un gran atacante y lo mejor de todo es que este año ha tenido ya 3 apariciones como en los mejores 11 que da la liga semana tras semana. Pero algo interesante, Sherry, también nosotros, es que tenemos a un gran jugador como Josh Sox, que no solamente lo vemos desbordar la banda, sino que también es un gran pasador.
Así es, y lo importante es poner atención hoy día que solo está a 8 minutos de completar los 20.000 minutos en toda su carrera. Sería el segundo jugador en la historia del USL de completar esa cantidad de minutos y también tiene la distinción de haber sido el primer capitán de United entre el año 2019 al año 2020.
Así es, ponga atención al partido porque lo que pasó el miércoles pasado nos está dejando este juego bastante calientito.
It's top of the West, Sacramento taking on 9th place New Mexico United. The 2023 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary. We'll be back on the other side of this with lineups and kickoff.
Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. You take the west, I take on the east.
I landed my first trick at age 11. It's always been a family thing. Just the 3 of us, out skating the city. Albuquerque has heart. It lifted me up, all the way to my dream of skating in the Olympics.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
sorry. Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Back here at the lab, kickoff just moments away. Tonight's match brought to you by Meow Wolf, the original immersive art adventure. Let's take a look, Chris, at our starting 11s here presented by Bud Light. This is how Eric Quill rolling them out here tonight. What stands out to you?
Great to see Caelan Ryden back in the lineup after picking up that injury against Detroit, which forced him off the field. He obviously missed the game against Sunderland, so really important to have him back against this high-flying Sacramento team.
On the other side, for Mark Briggs, this is how he's rolling out his 11 here this evening. Danny Vitiello between the sticks. We're going to see Jared Timmer making the start here tonight. Of course, their leading goal scorer, Russell Cicerone, up top.
Yeah, Cicerone, the danger man, and again, that's why it's so important that Caelan Ryden's back. New Mexico United are going to have their hands full dealing with that guy tonight.
We're also seeing Mario Panagos out there. He's just making his second start, and this one underway between Sac Republic and New Mexico United here on Meow Wolf night. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here on the call, and Chris, it's good to be back to league play here. The Black and Yellow following a 2-week hiatus from the USL Championship. As we mentioned in the pregame, they did have that match in the midweek against Sunderland. But for New Mexico, starting the second half of the season, looking to pick up some momentum, but you really got your work cut out for you with the Sac Republic side coming in here tonight.
Yeah, high-flying Sac Republic. Coach Mark Briggs bringing his team in and, being on great form last few games, unbeaten in the last 4, but 3 ties in a row. So hit a little bit of a bumpy stretch, maybe. Obviously not losing games. So hard to score against this team. I'm sure we'll get into that later on. But, not losing games and a very, very difficult team to beat.
New Mexico in their Meow Wolf specialty kits. This is the first time they're wearing these kits out on the pitch. They released them on Tuesday. They had a big kit release event at the Team HQ in Nob Hill last night, where there was a few hundred people lined up around the block, Chris. It was a 5:05 p.m. kit release. People started lining up at 7 a.m.
I'm giggling not because it's surprising. That's like the least surprising thing ever. New Mexico United faithful love a new kit drop as well, and to be fair, it looks pretty sharp.
It looks sharp, and the kit matchup that we have here tonight, the black kits of Sac, I know you were admiring them when we were down on the pitch.
Hummel, you've got to love Hummel.
Sac wearing their 10th anniversary kits here this evening, celebration of the club's 10th season. Rocking the black kits. It was first introduced in 2018 as part of the club's 5-year celebration. This is their leading goal scorer, Russell Cicerone. Former Pittsburgh Riverhounds man, still Cicerone. And Cicerone making Tambakis come out to make a save just 3 minutes in here, Chris.
Hey, you see how dangerous it is there, and found a ton of space on that left-hand side channel there and forced Tambakis into an early save. Gave away a corner, but decent save by Tambakis.
10 goals on the campaign so far for Russell Cicerone out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. 31 goals for Riverhounds over the past 2 seasons. This ball goes back in, cross, played over the head of everybody, but the offside flag is up.
I tell you what, that was clearly something from the training ground by Sac Republic there, and Mexico United were caught napping a little bit. There was a ton of space and just a little bit slow to step up and caught offside.
Natalie Simon, our official here this evening. Not the first time she's officiated a match at the lab. She was stellar here last season. This is Ryden looking to play this one long. Finds the feet of Amando Moreno. Moreno able to squeeze out of a double team there. Play on, says the official. Moreno looking for Swartz on the through ball. And eventually this one cleared away. It was Connor Donovan. So New Mexico back in possession here. And Chris, this is a Sac Republic side that is incredibly hard to break down. In fact, the stingiest defense in the USL Championship. They've just conceded 12 goals on this season. They haven't had a match where they've conceded more than 1.
Yeah, and it is. That's the task facing New Mexico United tonight. In comparison, New Mexico United conceded 27 goals, more than double, and New Mexico United played one less game.
New Mexico could be onto something. Hernandez with the spin, and he goes down. Get up, says Simon. That is Nicky Hernandez, the Dallas, Texas native. Made a bang in his club debut, Chris, down at Southwest University Park against El Paso. Assisted the game-winning goal to Santi Moar after being on the pitch for just 2 minutes.
Yeah, he's been impressive since coming in. Obviously, initially a 25-day loan contract, and he's been really impressive. That debut you talk about looked like he's not afraid of a tackle, and obviously that assist. You know, everyone was waiting for the offside flag to go up, including him. But great way to make an impact, and every time he stepped on the field, you can see he's really dangerous, really dynamic, looks to go forward at every opportunity.
That's Will Seymour. Like 90 minutes last time out against Detroit, his 15th appearance. New Mexico once again. That was Bruce sending that one to Danny Vitiello. Danny Vitiello actually spent 1 game on the bench for New Mexico United back in the 2019 season. It's a fun fact. That's going to give us time here for our 5:29 game update, brought to you by the Education Plan, New Mexico's state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. Lee Desmond, the captain. It's Connor Donovan. It's our P&M coaches spotlight. Eric Quill on the touchline here for New Mexico. And Chris, it's been a really good start for Eric Quill.
It has, and while you were saying that, obviously a 2-week break, hiatus from championship play, allowed him some time to breathe and kind of get some ideas across to the team, because that first 3 weeks, 6 games in 3 weeks, Saturday, Wednesday, there was a Friday in there as well. So it was more just about maintenance. So I'm sure he's enjoyed a little bit of time on the training pitch with the team, and obviously the low, the game that didn't really matter a whole lot against Sunderland, you know, where he had a chance to play some of the players who were maybe fringe players. Obviously the starting lineup got some minutes as well, but allowed him some time to really get his feet under the table.
Zaldair Sanchez came on as a sub last time out of Vancouver, Washington. Actually joined Republic on his first professional contract after going through their 2023 open tryouts. It's actually the 6th player since 2014 to be signed through a first-team contract through open tryouts. That's actually really cool.
You hear some teams, obviously El Paso have done that as well, so you hear of teams doing that, and there's always diamonds in the rough.
That was Sosa. Now, second half of our P&M coaches spotlight. That is Mark Briggs in his 5th campaign with Sacramento Republic, former Academy director, Coach of the Year in 2017. Daniel Bruce able to get a touch on it, working a little give and go with Hernandez here. Moreno could be through. Armando Moreno, and he's challenged by Sosa at the very last second. Ferretti Sosa coming up big.
What a tackle that was. Talk about last ditch. That's as late as it comes. Armando Moreno just about to let a shot fly there. Sac Republic carved open by New Mexico United. It's that guy, Nicky Hernandez again with the through ball. Great level, and you can just see Moreno just can't quite get the ball to settle, but he is just about to pull the trigger. Sosa comes in at the last second and gets a great tackle in there.
So let's see, it looks like our official Natalie Simon just having a word with Cicerone and Hernandez. Suggs is now going to make his way over to the corner, and Chris, we're actually going to pause the match here for a special announcement. Josh Suggs has now eclipsed 20 1,000 career minutes played. He was just the second player in USL Championship history to do so.
That's amazing. And testament to the professionalism of Josh as well, where to be able to, it's a tough sport. It really is, and it's really tough in terms of longevity, and the fact that he's able to do it and do it at such a high level this late into his career is testament to his professionalism.
3 leagues, 13 seasons, 267 matches. Not just that, add on, Chris, a native New Mexican out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, and the first club captain in New Mexico United history. Everyone here on the at the lab on their feet for Josh Suggs, and we get back to it here with this Bank of America corner kick, and it's headed away by Shane Wheat. So we've seen some really special things here at the lab so far in 5 seasons, Chris, and that celebration certainly up there.
And it was almost written in the stars, right? A corner on that side of the field, allowing a left-footed in-swing. Of course, it was going to be Josh Suggs who took it. So great moment for him and his family, I'm sure.
That is Justin Portillo, the New Orleans, Louisiana native, making his way over to the corner flag. Corner kicks brought to you by Bank of America. With over 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. In-swinger from Portillo. Bounced off of Swartz. You can tell, I don't think Harry Swartz was exactly anticipating that one hitting him. Able to get it back from Bruce here. Seymour. Cross goes in, Moreno. And Moreno has that picked off his feet by Cicerone. Foul called on Keko.
Really well defended there by Will Seymour. Left kind of isolated a little bit against Keko, but just gets his body just in front, and just, as soon as he feels any kind of pressure, goes down, wins the free kick. Very well defended.
Keko actually on the score sheet. Last time Sac Republic played here at the lab, it was last August 3rd. It was a 2-1 win for Republic. Preston Tabordataka opened up the scoring, 54th minute. Keko equalized just 3 minutes later, and then Martinez followed up in the 61st minute. So 2 goals in 4 minutes from Sac Republic saw them victorious last time here at the lab. And New Mexico, Chris, for what it's worth, have not fared well against Sac Republic throughout their club history. Just 1 win, 4 losses, 1 draw. That's including postseason play.
Yeah, I mean, the word bogey team's thrown around quite a lot, and I'd say New Mexico United certainly feel that way about Sacramento Republic. Some very close games, but yeah, they just haven't been able to better them, and Sacramento seem to have their number. But New Mexico United and the coaching staff will be really happy with the start so far.
Harry Swartz and Vitiello able to lay out to grab that one. That was some excellent link-up play there between Will Seymour, and this is going to give us time for our Garcia Automotive Group keys to the game for New Mexico. Break down the best defense in the league. Can the new guys make a difference and stay on the hot streak? Well, no Isaac Zuleta, no Jacobo Reyes, but in terms of new guys, Nicky Hernandez out there starting for Eric Quill. Here's Cicerone, Golden Boot leader. Cicerone, cross goes in, and the header. It was Archimed. And a striker of that quality has to do better. And Luther Archimed has to be upset with himself there.
Yeah, that was a huge chance there for Sacramento. And New Mexico United, a little too easy. That's 2 chances now for Sacramento, where I've said New Mexico United have started pretty well, but there's been 2 chances where they've managed to carve open New Mexico United, and both have been down this left-hand channel.
Archimed, 2 goals on the season so far, making his 3rd start here this evening. Well, we've got a second. We'd like to let you know that Amore Neapolitan Pizzeria says thank you for 10 amazing years as New Mexico's first and only certified pizzerias. So we have the Sac Republic players down on the pitch. While we've got a second, Chris, Ben Sherman Law injury report. Injured at work, Ben Sherman can help. Christian Nava, Chris Wehan still on the injury report there for New Mexico. from what we can tell, it doesn't look like either are relatively close to making their way back.
Yeah, 2 tough injuries, especially Christian Nava. Unfortunately, personal experience with that injury, it's a tough one to come back from, but he definitely has youth on his side. Crispian, I think, is a little closer, or at least I know New Mexico hopes so, but you can see the moves that New Mexico United are making in the transfer market. Obviously, Alex Wagner up at University of Michigan already, so they've started adding some attacking pieces to help the push late on in the season here.
I wonder if those people had to buy 2 tickets. This is incredible.
If anyone would know, you would know.
Meow Wolf Night is definitely my favorite night. I think he's dressed up as a piñata. Is that what that is? I think my favorite thing is just seeing the creativity throughout the costumes in the crowd. And we've got some Ninja Turtles. This is incredible. Not to mention the flags that were given away, sort of matching the new kit design. We've got some sunflowers in the crowd. We've got a fella in a toga, it looks like, down towards the left. You never know what you're going to see at a New Mexico United match, Chris, especially on Meow Wolf Night.
I certainly didn't expect to see David Carl in a tutu.
That was not on my bingo card either, but I'll tell you what, if there's anybody that can rock a tutu, it's David Carl. Back to the action here. It looks like Lopez is okay. It was Arnold Lopez down. Here's Rivas now leading the break for New Mexico. Bruce. Here's the Englishman, Daniel Bruce. It takes a deflection, and it's off target. Or did it take a deflection? I couldn't tell. It looked like Amando Moreno might have jumped through in front of him there. We'll have a look here at this TLC replay. But the Englishman, Chris, just looks to cut it back on his right foot. No deflection there, actually.
Yeah, you can just see, just gets the defender off balance there. And it's Wheat there, and just opens himself up onto his favoured right foot, looking for that top corner, just sails over.
Swartz battling there with the captain, Desmond. Both captains tonight wearing the number 4. Sam Hamilton and Desmond. This is Timmer. Arnold Lopez just up from injury. Joined Republic after 11 professional seasons in Venezuela's first division. So you talk about a player that you can bring in with a ton of experience. Foul called against Sacramento. Fiestado free kick coming up here.
Tell you what, watching how both teams are setting up early on here, both very, very attacking, especially in possession. It's like Sac Republic in a 3-4-3, and their wide guys Sanchez and Sosa free to get forward at any chance. And New Mexico United in possession, it's almost a 4-2-4. So that front 4 against the back 3 of Sacramento Republic, it should lend itself to a very exciting game.
Connor Donovan eclipsed the 15,000 minute mark in his last match. Here's Archimed. Cross goes over to the far side. It's Sanchez now. Zach just probing. Here's Archimed. Goes down. Goal kick, says Natalie Simon. Archimed, he's no stranger to scoring against New Mexico United either, Chris. The last time these two teams played, we mentioned it in the pregame. It was actually in the first round of the 2022 USL Championship playoffs. New Mexico falling at Heart Health Park 2-0. Malik Foster on the score sheet in the 47th minute, and then in the 74th, Luther Archimed putting the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, again, it seems like big games, they always tend to match up. It's been two seasons where they've matched up in the playoffs. First round of the playoffs, both in Sacramento. No, it's obviously a goal for New Mexico United to host a playoff game, which they haven't been able to do so far in their history. But yeah, it's those big games, and Sac Republic have always managed to come out on top. Sacramento, though, coming into a little difficult stretch here, including tonight, 5 of the next 6 games away from their home. So it's going to be a tough little go here for Sacramento, and if they come through that, then they'll be eyeing that #1 spot.
You know, and the thing, for as good as Sac Republic have been this season, away from home, they haven't been. They've only got 2 wins away from Heart Health Park all season long, although, Chris, 5 draws, just 1 loss.
That's literally, yeah, that's it, where it just shows how difficult they are to beat. And you can see, let's say, you know, the back 3, but given time, Sosa and Sanchez do get back, and it does become that back 5.
Here's Suggs. Finds Harry Swartz. Harry Swartz can switch sides now. Moreno, leading goal scorer, 5 goals on the campaign for New Mexico. Seymour temporarily loses his footing. This ball not able to be kept in there by Nicky Hernandez, as the magic minute is in full force here on Meow Wolf Night. Captain Sam Hamilton finds Will Seymour. It's the Norman, Oklahoma native, Kalen Ryden. You know, Kristen didn't exactly get a chance to see Alex Tambakis in the midweek against Sunderland. Ford Parker did play the entirety of the 90 minutes, but for the most part, for the first half for New Mexico, they put out a very strong side.
Yeah, it was pretty much full strength. Let's say Kalen Ryden missed the game. I think that was more a precaution, easy for me to say, after the injury, the knock he picked up against Detroit. But yeah, Ford Parker, that first goal, Pierre Ekwa, Alex Pritchard for Sunderland, there's a video going around on social media where he just kind of gives him a look and shrugs his shoulders like, what were you expected to do with that? It was an unbelievable strike, and our vantage point here, we were able to be right behind it.
Through ball here for Archimed, and Archimed gets underneath that one. Keko with a great ball played forward. But yeah, Chris, as you mentioned, that first goal scored by Sunderland, as they would say across the pond, class.
Definitely. I mean, obviously I agree. But I managed to keep the celebrations under wraps, right? But I think, again, going back, you know, that was a great experience for, you know, the starting players, the full strength team that they put out in the first half. You know, players for New Mexico United wanted the opportunity to play against those Sunderland players. So it was really well done by Coach Will to give them their time to do that. And then he started making subs. Daniel Bruce came off pretty early, after about 20 minutes of the, I think it was 25 minutes. And then the rest of the starting lineup really came off at half-time. So it was a great opportunity for them to test themselves against a very good championship side.
It was 2-0 at the break when the starters were taken off for New Mexico. And also the second goal scored by Sunderland, the header by Hamir, the 19-year-old unit, I think is the best way to describe him. He didn't even jump when you watch that replay, and you can just see how big the Sunderland players were. It was incredible, especially we were down pitch side. We were able to see their 16-year-old keeper, Matty Young, up close, and he walked by us, and my eyes were wide open. I said, there's no way he's 16.
And I think that's the difference. You know, obviously in America, there's so much competition for the athletes in this country. You know, a lot of the big athletes go and play maybe other sports. Maybe it's a little more lucrative. Whereas in Europe, the best athletes play soccer. And I think that showed. You know, you can just see the 19-year-olds that New Mexico put out in the second half compared to Premier, the 19-year-old. It was a different ball game.
Fiesta Auto free kick coming up here. It looks like Keko Run over this. Cicerone now has a go. Sends it right into the waiting arms of the Athenian goalkeeper, Alex Tambakis. Tambakis came into this one 46 saves, conceded 27 goals. He's got 3 clean sheets in 18 appearances. And I think the best thing for Tambakis, when you look at some of those stats, Chris, the clean sheet number, obviously you would like for it to be higher, but 2 of those 3 coming recently.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it was the first game against the Miami FC was the clean sheet, and that was the lone clean sheet for the longest time, you know. And finally, again, it's finding that balance. I think the attack and play and the freedom that Coach Quill has clearly instilled in the players, regardless of how much time he's had on the training pitch, basically, is clear to see. Like you said, Harry Schwartz popping up on the left side earlier on when you mentioned that. And there's so much freedom in the way they play. I think maybe the last 2 weeks might have been spent on a little bit more defensive solidity, because that's stuff that really, you can't really do in games. You have to really work on that. What is the structure? What structure are you trying to defend out of? What are you going to invite other teams to do? And what do you try? Because if you can control the other team when you're out of possession, you're in a good spot.
That yellow card earlier given to Sergio Rivas. First yellow card of the evening. Yellow cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. Here's Moreno. Switches play to Seymour. Seymour, that one takes a skip. Falls, here's Hernandez. Still Hernandez. Rivas settles it. Rivas sends it into the supporters section. But some good link-up play there for New Mexico.
And again, Hernandez in the thick of it, and Hernandez didn't want to take a shot with his left foot. I think it was on, and then he rolls the ball to Rivas, and I really think he could have hit that first time, but he just tries to roll the ball out, and that allows the Sac Republic defenders to close him down, which forces him to rush it, and then it ends up over the bar.
Well, we've got a second. Let's tell you about Select, the official matchball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Here's Sosa. Archimed all by himself. Sanchez unable to track that one down. But Luther Archimed made the run. And it looked like, I think Portillo was trying to track down to get back in front of him.
Yeah, and you could see both Kalen Ryden and Sam Hamilton had been dragged across to the left-hand side of New Mexico there, so it was just a huge gap, and he just drifted off into that space. And the correct pass, there was going to be a ton of trouble.
Suggs looking for Moreno. The offside flag goes up. It's the El Salvador international, Armando Moreno. New Jersey native. 5 goals this season, 19 in total for him in black and yellow. Actually making his 64th USL Championship appearance tonight for the club, and it's been good to see Armando Moreno here. It feels like he's really found a home.
Yeah, and you know, himself, Daniel Bruce, we mentioned that 2 weeks now against Detroit as well. Since the coaching change, it's been like a new lease of life. You can see that they're really enjoying playing in the system, playing in the positions that they're being asked to do, and enjoying the role. You can see how hard Armando Moreno works both sides of the ball. It's not just an attacking threat. He works so hard defensively for the team as well.
Here's Sosa. Finds Keko. Keko picked up by Suggs. Just trying to find an entry point for that cross. Instead goes back to Timmer. It's going to come all the way back to Connor Donovan, the North Carolina native. Donovan making his 20th start here this evening. He's played and started in every single match for Republic so far. Archimed, flag stays down. This is trouble. Cross goes in. Cicerone unable to redirect it. And I think now they're going to say the flag went up as Tambakis is distraught.
No, he's flagging for a goal kick. The AR on that side, lots of questions, lots of arm waving and gesticulating in the direction of the AR over there. And the ball, it just seems so far behind the line. And it's not the first time. Keko, just about a minute, 90 seconds earlier, got found in behind in that right-hand channel. Earlier on, we were talking about Cicerone in the left-hand channel as well. So New Mexico United playing with fire a little bit, where their outside backs bomb on, and Sac Republic have found that space in behind them a few times.
Hydration break here in the 30th minute. Replays tonight brought to you by TLC Plumbing. They're the leader in New Mexico when it comes to plumbing, heating, and cooling, home and business service needs. So Chris, 30 minutes in the books. What have you seen so far between these two?
It's been a fun game. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit of a chess match right now. I think both teams have had chances, obviously. And now it's the question of the coaching staff, are they talking about, is it a stick or twist moment? Do they continue what they're doing? Like New Mexico United dodged a couple of bullets, the last one right there as well, where they're getting caught just in behind in that space where both outside backs go, and the front three of Sacramento Republic matched up against the two centre backs of New Mexico. Not a good recipe. But on the other side of it, Sacramento have had some issues themselves defending, some last-ditch defending, and maybe some poor finishing, I'd say, as well from New Mexico, that kind of let them off the hook.
Well, we've got a second. I'd like to tell you about ESPN Plus. Fans, don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus, the home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. So we'll have at least a couple minutes added on at the end of the first half for that hydration break there as we're back to it. It's Justin Portillo, the New Orleans, Louisiana native. 8 goals last season for New Mexico in 34 appearances. And when you look at Justin Portillo in this midfield, he's really the key that makes this lock turn.
Yeah, he is, and obviously he's got a job, you know, going back to what I just said about the two centre-backs being matched up against the front three of Sacramento Republic. Justin Portillo has to be so disciplined in his position, and especially when the team's in possession. It's so tempting to go join in the attack and go continue to be involved, but he has to sit in that space there and protect the two centre-backs and become almost like a third centre-back in transition.
Which is impressive, especially when you look at some of these numbers. Leads the team in chances created with 22 so far this season. Suggs made the run. Ryden decided against playing the ball to him. Rivas.
You see how disciplined Sacramento Republic are, and how difficult Sergio Rivas is finding it to get into the game there. He's behind the two centre-backs of New Mexico United, picking up the ball, just trying to get touches, just trying to get involved in the game, trying to up the tempo in possession, because New Mexico United, they're having a lot of the ball, but it's really easy, or Sacramento are really disciplined and they're finding it easy to stay in their shape, so New Mexico suddenly find it hard to create any kind of space.
Timmer and Lopez, the midfield pairing there for Sac Republic, really nailing down on Sergio Rivas. It was La Grasa getting the start there last match. Not on the injury report. We did see La Grasa out there warming up. A number of names on the injury report. However, for Sac Republic, Chris, some big names, especially as to battle with Archimed and Kalen Ryden. Falls to Timmer. Here's Sosa now. Sosa switches play. Sanchez now. Lopez. It's cleared away. As I was saying, Chris, 5 names on the injury report tonight for Sac Republic. Roro Lopez, Luis Felipe, their number 9, Sebastian Herrera, Damian Villader, who's their starting left back, and Nick Ross as well, who's a playmaker in the midfield. Lots of holes tonight for the Sac Republic side.
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's a lot of attacking and goals, and you know, you might be able to attribute, you know, the 3 ties in a row down to some of the injuries. You know, the squad is really being tested right now, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they come through this, like I say, because it's not an easy stretch of games that they've got coming up either.
Here's Swartz. New Mexico looking to break. Swartz has plenty of options here. Goes for Hernandez on the far side. Heavy touch from Nicky Hernandez, resulting in a goal kick here for Sacramento. Nicky Hernandez, the 2022 USL Championship Cup winner with San Antonio FC. 22 appearances there last season, 7 goal involvements, scored twice, 5 assists. By my count, Chris, he was announced as a 25-day signing back at the beginning of July, so I'm ticking down on that 25-day deal, and it's seeming likely that New Mexico probably going to extend.
I mean, honestly, I actually don't know how that works, but I'm sure that they will want to because he's definitely been value added, that's for sure. And obviously the trust that Coach Quill has in him, as soon as he's been up to speed and you know, got the sharpness and integrated with the team, he's been starting games, last 2 games, second start in a row for him as well, and justified.
Rivas finds Seymour. Flick on, Bruce goes down. Shouts for the penalty, Bruce jumps back up. We're gonna have to see a replay of that one. That looked fairly close as the Englishman Daniel Bruce goes down to the box. No call from our official Natalie Simon.
Yeah, it looked like Daniel Bruce was just trying to flick the ball into, I think it was Armando Moreno that was a dangerous tackle. Very, very dangerous. You've seen those given. That's a very, very close one, and I think, you know, if it's interesting though, Daniel Bruce didn't really appeal too much, and that normally tells the story, so maybe it was just more clumsy, or maybe you thought the defender got a touch on the ball.
Heavy first touch from Sergio Rivas, and the visitors able to clear that one away. New Mexico still asking questions of this Sac defense. Here's Moreno. Cross goes in, and Vitiello able to lay out and grab it. Nineteenth start on the season for Danny Vitiello. 7 clean sheets.
Great job there by Moreno. Just drives to the end line and then tries to put the ball in that little corridor of uncertainty. You see that little gap right there, and just asking for a touch. Any kind of touch there, and he's probably in trouble, but gobbles it up well.
Ball looking for Harry Swartz. He's making a run, and it's cleared away by Shane Wheat. Shane Wheat, the Akron, Ohio native, former Riverhounds and Loudoun United man. Hard challenge there in the midfield. Flag stays down. Keko unable to track it down, however.
That one was only about 10 yards offside, but I tell you what, absolutely tremendous defending by Sam Hamilton there in the middle. First tackle had to be committed. I think it was against Lopez, and then the ball kind of bobbles around and again goes flying into the next tackle. Knew he had to win it as well, and he's got himself in yellow card trouble in the past, but that's the commitment level that Sam Hamilton has there.
A little bit of extracurriculars there between Nicky Hernandez and Ferretti Sosa. And so we've got a yellow card shown to Shane Wheat. 38th minute yellow card, brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. You've been fouled. Call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. So Rivas and Shane Wheat both in Natalie Simon's book here in this first half.
Schumann, Wheat, unless he did the initial foul, you know, the replay there showed us the after-curriculars. That was Sosa who was involved there. So I'm assuming he either said something, Wheat, or he was the initial foul. But you've got to say, New Mexico United, they're having another little spell here, but they need to capitalize.
Free kick goes into the box and it's headed away. Given to New Mexico. The Albuquerque native, Sergio Rivas. Hamilton now. A good dummy from Daniel Bruce. It's going to go all the way back to Alex Tambakis. Lopez goes back to Wheat. Shane Wheat making his 17th start here tonight. He's logged 1,350 minutes coming into this one this season. 47 clearances, 25 interceptions as well. Started virtually every game for Pittsburgh Riverhounds over the last 2 seasons. Started 32 in 2021, started 34 last year. My count, I think that is every match. Cross looking for Swartz and Vitiello out to grab it.
There's that vision again by Nicky Hernandez where, you know, most midfielders would maybe look to just play a square pass, safe pass. You know, Sam Hamilton was an option, Caelan Ryden was an option, but instead he saw the run of Harry Schwartz. Just didn't quite get it right.
Tambakis comes out to grab that from in front of Archimed. Here's Hernandez. Cicerone. He's taken 3 shots so far as Russell Cicerone, the most out of anybody. It's a hard challenge there from Portillo. Sosa in behind the back line. Ball bouncing around. And eventually it goes behind the goal. Chaos inside the 6.
I was just waiting for the net to bulge there. There was so much, like you said, chaos in and around the 18-yard box. And that's another time where Sac Republic have been able to get in behind the New Mexico United outside backs there. And what a tackle that was. I think it was Will Seymour. It was Will Seymour. It goes off Tambakis' backside and goes out for a corner. That could have gone absolutely anywhere.
Bank of America corner kick coming up here for Sac Republic. It's Keko back there to take. Outswinger goes in, free header, and it's a big save from Alex Tambakis. It was a wide open header. Desmond got the initial contact. And Tambakis had to come out and grab it from right in front of Shane Wheat.
Yeah, and you can see Tambakis straight away jumps up. Who was marking Shane Wheat?
Ensuing corner goes in, falls to Keko. His shot blocked. Archimed looking for a cross to the back post, and that finds Alex Tambakis.
You see Tambakis just dropping to the ground there, trying to calm everyone down. This is like a heavyweight boxing match right now. Both teams swinging big, and then once the team that's defending catches their breath, then they have a go. It's really back and forth. For a 0-0 game, very, very entertaining.
Here's Justin Portillo. Goes back to Ryden. Seymour asking for it on the far side. Heavy touch from Seymour. Does well to win the throw-in, does Will Seymour. Led the side last season with 56 interceptions. He's really been able to lock down a place here in this back line since arriving at the beginning of last year. Touch from Hernandez. Finds Bruce. Here's Moreno now. Moreno finds Swartz. Harry Swartz has opened up the scoring. 45th minute. It's the Boston native Harry Swartz scoring his 3rd goal of the season to open it up on Meow Wolf night.
Unbelievable goal there. It's not one of those that's fired into the top corner, but the build-up play was absolutely tremendous. How quickly Armando Moreno shifts this ball to his left side, creates a little bit of space, pops the ball into the middle, and there's Harry Swartz. Quick turn, fires it in the bottom corner.
On his 60th club appearance in the league, Harry Swartz has opened up the scoring here tonight, unlocking the league's stingiest defense here in the 45th minute.
And you can see the composure there. He even gets a little tug of his jersey there. Maybe it was Sanchez last ditch. And just there, you can see the goalkeeper just can't quite get across, slides it in the bottom corner. The build-up play again, though, absolutely tremendous. He said a great touch by Hernandez in the build-up, and Bruce was involved as well. And just the movement of New Mexico United is causing all kinds of trouble.
That goal brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. And Chris, we're also in New Mexico Opinion Coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. 3 minutes added on here. The end of this first half. This one's going to fall to Sosa. The visitors looking for an equalizer. It's not going to come here. Sosa, the Congolese international, sends that one out. "12 goals conceded on the season, make that 13, Chris." As now New Mexico, they look to do what no other club has been able to do so far this season, and that's score a 2nd goal in a match against this Sac Republic defense.
And that's it. And you really don't want to go into this game and you know, if Cicerone had already had 3 shots, like you said, and Cicerone's had 4 game-opening goals so far this season already, so you didn't want him. He was starting to get some sighters in, so to get your noses in front for New Mexico United, that's huge, because you really don't want to try and go down and then know you have to score 2 to try and beat these guys. So now it's, can they get the balance right between still pushing forward because it's working well for New Mexico United? They're causing all kinds of trouble with their movement, but they need to make sure that they cut out the mistakes at the back and all that space that the Sacramento wide guys specifically have been able to exploit.
New Mexico on the hunt for a 2nd. Here's Moreno. Finds Rivas. New Mexico this season, Chris, when they score first here at home, 4 wins, 1 draw. History on their side. As that pass, it's pinged back. Here's Swartz. The goal scorer, Harry Swartz, goes down, no foul called. And on the flip side, Chris, for Sac Republic, they've failed to win in their last 11 matches when conceding the opening goal in USL Championship play. You got to go back all the way to last August when they took on New Mexico United here at the lab. It's the last time they conceded first and came back to win.
You need to turn off your Twitter notifications again.
So no clean sheet here tonight for Danny Vitiello. We approach the end of the first half stoppage time. First 45 in the books here between top of the West, Sac Republic, and 9th place New Mexico United. It's the black and yellow on top here, 1-0 at the break. Chris, give us your thoughts on the first 45.
Really entertaining first half. Both teams would have an argument that they could be leading at halftime. New Mexico United, that one moment of real quality right near the end of the half.
3rd goal of the season from Harry Swartz coming in the 45th minute. Sees New Mexico United on top of Sac Republic. 1-0 here at the half. Your score presented by First Financial Credit Union. We'll step aside We'll be right back.
Since 1966, BIOS has provided quality appliances, electronics, and mattresses to Albuquerque and New Mexico.
And from day one, we've done everything as a team. Our commitment to our team, our community, and innovation has allowed us to serve Albuquerque and our surrounding areas for more than 50 years. We are proud to partner with New Mexico United.
Because both of us believe in the values of loyalty, service, and togetherness.
Our longevity and growth is because we are united.
Somos unidos.
Flamenco is a language. Every step a verse, every movement a phrase. Born in Spain and expressed here in New Mexico.
Dime que sí, dime que no, anda dime primita de mi corazón.
The 2023 Summer Concert season is here at Sandia Resort and Casino. Join us this summer at Albuquerque's best concert venue for a season to remember. June 23rd, Ludacris. July 20th, Old Dominion. July 28th, Buddy Guy and Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Tickets available now at sandiacasino.com or the box office. The 2023 Summer Concert season at Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home. Far from ordinary.
Part desert, part mountain, part river. Albuquerque offers outdoor exhilaration you can't find anywhere else. Spend the perfect day hiking, biking, or even hot air ballooning. All within minutes of a vibrant city. Whether you're exploring hundreds of miles of trails or hundreds of years of history, Albuquerque will take your breath away. Start planning your Albuquerque adventure at visitabq.org.
It's halftime here at the Lab. The score 1-0, New Mexico on top of Sacramento, presented by First Financial Credit Union. It's halftime, our halftime show brought to you by Smith's, fresh for everyone. And Chris, there is plenty to get into here for this halftime. So let's just jump right into this with our standings, taking a look at the Western Conference. Coming into this one, New Mexico United nestled in 9th place, just outside the playoff line. The top 8 teams make the playoffs. Sacramento sitting in the penthouse in the top spot. But you look at this Western Conference, Chris, and you just see from 11th all the way up to 5th place, 4 points separating all the sides.
Yeah, and you can see a win tonight and results going New Mexico United's way. They could end up as high as 5th place, which is how congested that table is right now. It's anybody's guess who's going to make the playoffs.
Moving on here to our news and notes from around the league, as New Mexico United, as we mentioned, we showed you the highlights, hosting a historic international friendly here just a few days ago, hosting the Black Cats from Sunderland AFC. It's where the Black and Yellow fell 3-2. Tampa Bay and the USL Super League announcing a new president and head coach. Really cool to see that, as Christina Unkel has been appointed as the first club president, and Denise Schulte-Brown as their head coach. And New Mexico United in the transfer news, sending Josh Dalling, the Englishman, on loan to Las Vegas Lights. Should be a good move for him. As we have a look here at the ESPN Plus schedule, games coming up here over the midweek and next weekend. You can see on Wednesday night, Oakland Roots and Las Vegas Lights. Sac Republic back in action as they're hosting Phoenix Rising. Then on the weekend, RGV will be hosting El Paso. Monterey Bay hosting Phoenix as they stay out there in the Bay Area. Orange County will be hosting the Black and Yellow as they make their way out to Championship Soccer Stadium. And then Las Vegas Lights hosting Sac Republic at Cashman Field. We've got our scores now from around the league. As we mentioned earlier in the friendly, Chris, soak it all in. That's the last time you're going to see it on our graphics. Sunderland victorious over New Mexico United. San Diego Loyal putting up a 5 spot on switchbacks. OC putting up 3 past Loudon as they only scored 1. And RGV and El Paso drawing in a Copa Tejas battle 1-1. Upcoming schedule here for New Mexico, as we mentioned, on the road, 3 out of the next 5 games. They'll be visiting Orange County, Hartford Athletic, before we're back here in 3 weeks for the summer block party against defending league champs San Antonio FC. Then on the road at Torero, taking on San Diego Loyal. Following that, just a few days later, making the trip up to Northern California to take on Oakland Roots. And the upcoming schedule here for Sac Republic, facing Phoenix Rising. Then hitting the road for 4 straight games in Las Vegas, Monterey Bay, Birmingham, and then going all the way out to Virginia to take on Loudoun United. And now to wrap things up, our team of the week, Trey Muse getting the nod for the goalkeeper. You can see Perez and Blake Bodley both getting the nod from San Diego Loyal. And Philip Goodrum from FC Tulsa. They won 5 in a row. He's your eFootball Player of the Week. Let's step aside. In fact, let's have a look at this really cool Meow Wolf video, Chris.
It's calling, and we're listening. Day one, the art, the sport, the love, the journey. It's time for the next chapter. It's time to find the 5th dimension. Somos Unidos.
This is what they want. This is what they really want. This one for the city, what you claim and throw it up. Bitch, I'm from the east, but this side west, I rep the 5. AKA the Q, where they really light you up. Yeah, I move crazy shit nuts. Hottest in the city when we pull up, back 'em up. How can you tell stories when nobody back you up? Everybody with me, you can try and light 'em up. When I drop releases, I don't see nobody drop. I can show no pity, bitch, I'd rather stir the pot. Working for some years until I really got it hot.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Back here at the lab, Meow Wolf Night. We've got the costume contest going on down on the field. But before we have a look at that, let's have a look, Chris, at our first half highlights presented by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. We're here for you, and we're here to win. And we started off early, Chris. As I mentioned in the 8th minute, we've seen a lot of special things here at the lab. Josh Suggs eclipsing 20,000 career minutes played.
Yeah, I said at the time as well, it's testament to his professionalism that he's still doing it at that level this late into his career. But then back to the game, and a very, very difficult save there from Tambakis. Traffic in front of him, had to keep his eye on the ball, and it was Wheat who just jumped in front of him and got a really important touch, Tambakis, to turn it around for a corner, asking questions of his defenders. The goal for New Mexico United, great interchange, Springs, Armando Moreno, a little dip of his shoulder, creates a little bit of space in the 18-yard box just there. Great ball with his left foot, and instead of just slashing at it with his left foot, the presence of mind by Harry Schwartz to try and turn, little tug on his shirt as well, and slots it in the bottom corner to send the home fans wild.
Third goal of the season for Harry Schwartz there in the 45th minute. Now let's have a look at our halftime stats brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. This is how this one is shaking out so far, Chris. It's not just the battle of possession, but it's the battle of meaningful possession. New Mexico, right now, asking a lot of questions, but you got to look at these numbers for Sac as well. Despite just having 38% possession, 4 shots on target, 8 shots in total.
Yeah, and we said in the broadcast again, Cicerone with 3 of those shots as well. And so they are very, very dangerous. It doesn't matter. How many times have you watched soccer games where the team with 20% possession and they nick a goal and it's 1-0? So New Mexico United need to be on their guard. Sac Republic have found ways to really cause trouble without the ball as well, and find that space specifically in behind New Mexico United. So that'll be, I'm sure, what the New Mexico United coaching staff are talking about at halftime.
Second half coming up after this break. You're watching the USL Championship right here on ESPN+.
For over 45 years, we have been roofing New Mexico. Even though you may not know it, you have been covered by one of our roofs at some point. Now we're bringing the same high-quality craftsmanship that puts New Mexico's commercial buildings into the residential marketplace. Get a commercial-quality roof on your home today. National Roofing. Local company, national name.
Call 883-3000 or visit nationalroofing.com.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
This is a story about creativity, education, entrepreneurship, and cookies.
Well, mostly about cookies. Want to try one?
Kristen, where'd you learn to bake?
My grandma was my first teacher. She told me it was okay to be creative and take risks.
Like what?
Like green chili cookies. I haven't quite cracked the code on those yet.
Bummer. Was it a risk to open a bakery?
Definitely. But CNM gave me the skills to turn that passion into a reality.
That's amazing. At CNM, it's one college, infinite possibilities.
A beautiful evening here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on the call. It's Meow Wolf Night here at the Lab. One of the largest crowds of this season expected here this evening is New Mexico United hosting top of the West Sacramento Republic FC. The black and yellow on top here, Chris, through the first 45. Harry Schwartz scoring in the 45th minute. Armando Moreno picking up the assist. Second half starting soon. What are your thoughts on the first half, especially coming in to this second half?
Yeah, I think we've talked about, I'm sure, Sacramento Republic, the spaces behind the outside backs of New Mexico United. Can they exploit that space? It's a very, very high line as well. And those outside backs, Will Seymour and Josh Suggs on the left-hand side, are bombing on and getting involved in the attack quite often. So can they spring those attacks in that? And, you know, they have made it difficult. New Mexico United had a lot of the ball, but Sacramento have managed to limit them to chances from in and around the 18-yard box. There's been a couple of good chances, but honestly, the most clear-cut chances probably fell to Sacramento in the first half, other than the goal.
Russell Cicerone, leading goal scorer for the Sac Republic side. 10 goals on the campaign so far. New Mexico, they've done well with him so far, Chris. He's been able to get loose a few times, find some space for a few shots. Luther Archimed, though, I think has been the one really giving this New Mexico defense problems.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of times where he's found a lot of space, and I think that's a worry for New Mexico United as well. You know, they kind of lose their discipline a little bit at the back, get dragged to one side, and the right pass from Sacramento would have caused all kinds of trouble. But he's a big body in there, a big target to find as well.
Sosa goes down. That's Keko, actually. We'd like to welcome everybody watching in, whether you're watching on ESPN+, whether you're watching around New Mexico on Estrella TV, or if you're watching out in California on Fox 40. Welcome in here to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Gorgeous evening here at the lab. Temperatures in the mid-80s so far here this evening. It's Keko down on the ground. It looks like feeling his right leg. Looks like we're good to go here again. Keko goes down again. And play is going to be stopped. As Natalie Simon telling him no more. This TLC replay, we get a look. He just loses his footing. It's going to be a turnover here. New Mexico looking to start quickly, but nobody there for Moreno. Hernandez, beautiful little cheeky flick for Suggs there. The ball in from Suggs, picked away by Timmer. The foul is going to be called on Cicerone as William Seymour goes down.
You can see once again, though, that's the space that Sacramento are trying to exploit. Any chance they get, they're going to dump the ball in behind New Mexico United's back line. Will Seymour said it in the first half as well. It was a very similar situation where he just gets his body in the line. This time it was in front of Cicerone and feels contact. Cicerone, there was a lot of contact this time, definitely swiped his legs and wins the foul for New Mexico United.
Republic on the attack. Here's Keko. Cross goes in. Nobody at the back post to meet it. Seen out by Sanchez. It's going to be a goal kick. Let's look at our officials here this evening. Natalie Simon, our official in the center. Superb so far here this evening. Bruce making the run. Looks like we had a flag come up on the backside, well behind play. It was Suggs that was down, and so free kick coming back for New Mexico.
How entertaining the first half has been, the second half has been very, very stop-start so far. Lots of little niggly free kicks. And you know, whistles blown by the referee. No real rhythm or tempo to the game as yet in the second half.
Here's Hernandez looking for Bruce. That one cut out by Shane Wheat. It was a hard challenge there by Archimed. And Hamilton is down, grabbing his face. And a yellow card going to be shown. Luther Archimed here in the 50th minute. The yellow card brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. Ooh, it looks like he came in with an elbow right to the jaw of Sam Hamilton.
Yeah, that's going to be a sore one. And at first I thought maybe it was just the reaction of Sam Hamilton that got the card for him. But you can see a little bit of that was, obviously Sam Hamilton was crouched down a little bit as well. I don't think it was necessarily intent. But again, I think the yellow card was warranted there.
You've been fouled. Call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. Schwartz goes down. Be a throw in here for New Mexico. Hamilton with Archimed closing down. And the pressure here from Sac Republic. As New Mexico somewhat scrambling here, Chris. This ball stolen away. On the run, and that shot is blocked. It was Desmond, the captain, coming up all the way from his defensive position. Hamilton steps up, gets a foot to it.
You can see New Mexico United just struggling to gain any kind of possession here. Sac Republic definitely come out the blocks really quick in the second half. Pressing everything, like you said, the captain stepping up from defense, pressing 25 yards from the New Mexico United goal. So clearly the instruction in the second half or at halftime from the coach has been to get in New Mexico United's faces a little bit, make sure that the possession isn't comfortable for them.
Down goes Daniel Bruce. Physicality being notched up here in the second half as well. The Englishman Daniel Bruce on the ground, making his 106th USL Championship appearance for the club. 10 goals to his name. He's got 3 this season, all of those coming in the last 5 weeks since the appointment of the new gaffer, Eric Quill. Ball bouncing around. Here comes Hernandez. He's got options. And Wheat does well to block that one. Now the free kick. It's taken quickly. Here's Rivas. Plays it down for Suggs. And it's dealt with by Timmer.
Really unselfish by Suggs there. Could he have gone for goal? Elects to try and pull the ball back to in between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. The shot was on. Love that play by Nicky Hernandez. They were breaking from midfield. Looks for the through ball. Bounces back to him, turns, gets fouled. Instead of rolling around in agony, just gets up, gets on with it. The quick free kick really nearly caught Sac Republic out.
Here's Keko weaving through defenders. Foul is called. Yes, auto free kick coming up here. Shane Wheat goes back to Connor Donovan. Missing Jack Gurr here tonight is the Sac Republic side. Out of Newcastle upon Tyne. Reckon you know where that's from, right?
Yeah, 4 goals, 3 assists. So that, you know, that again going back to their recent, and it's not a slump at the end of the day, undefeated in 4, but struggling to maybe find those wins. And looking at, you know, some quick research at halftime, Sacramento have only managed in their 19 games so far this season, only managed to score more than 1 on 6 different occasions. However, in those 6 games, scored 5 against Lou City, 4 against Switchbacks, 3 against Indy, 3 against Oakland, 4 against Hartford, and 3 against SCFC. So when they do score more than 1, they tend to score a hatful.
It's Keko, the Spaniard out of Madrid. Previously spent time at Deportiva La Coruña, Real Valladolid, and also Malaga. Cross goes in. And that's Connor Donovan was asking for a foul. Not going to get it from Natalie Simon.
He got away from his mark there, no doubt, Donovan, and maybe should think that he could have got something on target there. So clearly he feels like he was impeded in some way, but certainly got himself free and 8 yards, 10 yards out. Maybe should have been hitting the target.
Tambakis plays this one to Daniel Bruce. 55 minutes gone by. Fans, we invite you to join us here at United in Health. Join New Mexico United in our efforts to create a healthier and more vibrant New Mexico at unitedinhealthnm.com.
You can see the change in tactic by Sac Republic. Mentioned it earlier. Definite more energy in the press when New Mexico United have possession of the ball. And you can see it's working there. Armando Moreno just under pressure with his first touch. Bobbles out of play because everything is rushed for New Mexico United right now. The counter of that is, though, Sac Republic leaving a lot of space in behind them. If New Mexico United can connect that first, second, third pass and spring an attack in behind them, it could be in business.
Looking for an insurance goal here this evening are the black and yellow. Terry Swart scoring just before the stroke of halftime. Here's Keko. Falls to Cicerone, and what a touch, but goes to Tambakis. Keko sometimes, he looks like he's got the ball attached to his feet.
Yeah, very, very good player. Very technical in tight areas as well. And what a great little entry pass. And Cicerone, the awareness of the trail and run behind him from Sanchez, I believe it was. And Harry Slaughter just switched off for a second, but Tambakis was completely alive to it and off his line quickly to stuff that one out.
Here's Bruce. He's got options. Daniel Bruce now. Picked up by Connor Donovan. Finds Rivas. Here's the Albuquerque native, Rivas. Moreno now. Moreno scores his 6th goal of the season. New Mexico up 2-0 on top of the West Sac Republic.
Once again, that ball in behind, you could see Daniel Bruce just stretching the game there. And it just poses so many issues for Sacramento. They're struggling to get back behind the ball because they're pressing so high. Then that ball's rolled back into Sergio Rivas. Sergio Rivas so calm. It seemed like he had the freedom of the entire park. Rolls the ball into Moreno's path. One touch. And I'm pretty sure he split the wickets of the goalkeeper there. Threw his legs into the back of the net. Great finish.
Here we have another look on this TLC replay. El Sayahin firing home, unlocking the Sac Republic defense for the second time here this evening are the black and yellow. They're the first club this season to score more than 1 goal in a match against this Sac Republic side.
And I tell you what, the momentum of the two clubs, we said injuries are causing issues for Sacramento Republic. New Mexico United, since the coaching change, eyebrows were raised when that happened, but since the coaching change, you can't argue that one loss against Phoenix Rising, where Phoenix Rising were on a bit of a tear there at that time as well. And now, New Mexico United won 3 of the last 4, looking to make that 4 of the last 5.
Moreno striking here in the 57th minute. 6th goal of the campaign for the El Salvadorian international. And the black and yellow in business, looking for a third. Here's Bruce. He's got Moreno on the other side. Moreno, big save. Moreno on the follow-up, skies it over the bar.
What a save. First one was good, second one was better.
New Mexico firing on all cylinders right now, Chris.
BTLO, like I said, that first save, Moreno does opt to take it first time this time. Great save by the goalkeeper. Coughs it back up, straight back out. That save right there. Full extension, up off the ground so quickly, saves a certain goal and potentially keeps Sacramento Republic in this game.
And what an incredible ball from Daniel Bruce, played through 2 defenders, finds Armando Moreno perfectly in stride. But as you mentioned, an incredible save by the veteran Danny Vitiello. The 27-year-old, as the cross goes in off the corner kick. So it sounds like Sacramento may be making some subs here, as New Mexico still asking questions around the 18. Here's Hernandez. Moreno now, left-footed cross. Ball bouncing around, falls to Hernandez, one times it! It's 3-0! New Mexico are on fire here on Meow Wolf Night!
The little dance by Hernandez as well. Get him signed up to a longer contract. The ball pops out to him, right foot, bottom corner. absolutely rattled right now, Sacramento Republic. That second goal has really just absolutely destroyed them. And you can see, yeah, the substitution's coming because the coach could see it, but he couldn't get the subs on in time. Armando Moreno on this left-hand side is absolutely able to do whatever he wants.
3 goals in the last 15 minutes in the run of play for New Mexico. Starting off with Swartz in the 45th, Moreno in the 57th, and now it's a first goal for the club for Nicky Hernandez, and what a strike it is.
Like I say, being in the right place at the right time is a skill, and you can see he just kind of drifts away from where the ball is. Thinks maybe, is there going to be a chance coming? Bit of fortune that it does find him, but does really well. It's so easy to sky that shot over the crossbar. Does really well to keep his knee over the ball, even bounces before it hits the back of the net. Great strike.
When it rains, it pours here, Chris, in New Mexico. 3 goals in 60 minutes so far against what came in as the stingiest defense in the USL Championship.
And again, you can see like the Sacramento Republic just need to calm down and get their foot on the ball here, because this could turn even uglier. Those 3 goals, and again, I said, absolutely rattled right now, and it's crazy because at the start of the second half, they were the team I would say was in the ascendancy, but it was that space in behind. Daniel Bruce just stretching the game, running behind, and then they just weren't able to recover after that second goal. I always say the first 5 minutes after a goal is most important. Getting that extra goal, getting that third goal, really you've got to think that's put the game to bed.
New Mexico this season have been excellent coming out of the halftime break. They've scored 8 goals in the first 15 minutes of the second half. That is the most out of any team in the USL Championship. You said halftime adjustments were just a rumor. It's Lopez having a bit of a swipe, and now Simon's going to call the foul as Rivas goes down. So we're hearing of some substitutions going to be coming here for Sac Republic. Subs already happened, excuse me. Is it Daniel Bruce here? Feeds this one back to Harry Swartz, and so quick recap of these substitutions. You've got Jack Gurr coming on, Matt LaGrassa, and Zico Lewis, as they'll replace Connor Donovan, Luther Archimed, and Sosa. Those substitutions, of course, brought to you by REDW, CPAs, and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. Zico Lewis coming on, making his 17th appearance here for the club this season. So falls to Keko, go back to Vitiello. That's where we talked about Jack Gurr not being on the field earlier, Chris. Well, now they've brought him in, but is it a case of too late being down in a hole 3-0?
And you can see the changes. Really wanted to make them right after the second. Even maybe before that, you could see that obviously the decision had been made that changes were needed. Sacramento were really starting to find some joy in the game as well, so maybe they were just looking for that extra push to get back in the game. Definitely wanted to get them on after that second goal, but the second and third goal came so close together, weren't able. Yeah, like you say, is it too little, too late?
Sacramento on the attack. Here's LaGrassa. Plays this one forward to Cicerone. Golden Boot leader Russell Cicerone. Cross goes in. It was Sanchez going up, contesting the header. It falls to LaGrassa. The sub puts the ball into the box, and it falls straight to Tambakis. Here's Suggs. New Mexico looking to pick up their first ever win on Meow Wolf Night in club history here tonight. Here's the goal scorer, Nicky Hernandez. Links up with the first goal scorer, Harry Swartz. And a hard challenge there from Lopez. He's going to be called for the foul. He's going to get a talking to here from Natalie Simon. This is already twice now in the second half that he's been spoken to. Gonna reckon the next time will likely result in a yellow card.
Yeah, for sure. And just looking at those changes for Sacramento, it doesn't really look like there's much in the change in terms of formation. Just a little reshuffle, I'd say. Timmer has dropped back from midfield into the back three, centre back of the back three, with Lopez sliding into midfield, Lewis up top, and Gurr taking up the right wing back spot.
Fiesta Auto free kick here for New Mexico. 3-0 lead here, 67th minute. This Sacramento defense has not just been unlocked here in the second half, it's been broken into essentially. America corner kick coming up here, and Portillo in no hurry to make his way over there. Here's Portillo in swinger. It's going to fall here to Sanchez. Excuse me, that's Zico Lewis. Keko now feeds Cicerone on the far side. Hamilton trying to track it down, and what a defensive play from the captain, Sam Hamilton.
Yeah, really good by Sam Hamilton there. Had to cover a lot of ground to get across to Cicerone, and was just committed in the tackle. Knew he was probably going to take a hit as well, and just cleared the danger. No nonsense. Easy for me to say.
Jack Gurr coming over to take the throw in here. Gurr able to wiggle by Suggs and play a cross in. Goes over the heads of everyone. Good defending there from Will Seymour, and Seymour draws the foul from Cicerone. See that at least twice a match from Will Seymour, where he just positions himself in between the opposition and the ball and just anticipates the contact.
You can just see that Cicerone just falls for it as well. He gets a little frustrated that he doesn't get the call for the tug in his shirt, and Will Seymour knows exactly what's about to happen, and it's not a dive, there's contact, but he just maybe makes sure the referee sees it.
Russell Cicerone looking for his 11th goal of the campaign here tonight. The former Pittsburgh Riverhounds man was actually drafted in the 2017 MLS Super Draft. As Bruce looking to play the cross back, still bouncing around. Eventually, Sanchez gets rid of it. Bouncing around. Cicerone now. Played it behind Sanchez, and it's going to be going back the other way.
Obviously, you know, everything going well for New Mexico United right now, and that guy, Coach Eric Quill, if this result stands and New Mexico United do pull off a win, that'll be the 3rd home win in a row. I have to check my math, but I am 90% sure that has never happened.
Need somebody sitting out there watching the game. Tweet us, let us know at ChrisHurst82. Let us know if that is the case.
But that was one of the things Coach Quill said when he first came in the building, was wanted to make this place a fortress. It's been too easy for teams to come here and try and quieten the crowd down and then just kill the game. Just kill the game with, you know, fouls, time waste and all that stuff. And I say it's been 3 very, very good performances. You know, that this would put, again, 5-2-2 at home so far this season, which, you know, New Mexico United tend to tie a lot of games at home, at least in previous seasons. And yeah, so it's a huge statement saying as soon as you come in the door, we want to win more games at home. In the first 3 of the first 4 home games, delivering on that.
70 minutes gone by. 70th minute of this match was brought to you by REDW, an Albuquerque-based CPA firm celebrating 70 years of keeping New Mexico moving forward. And you said it, Chris. I mean, you look at last season, the record that was here at home, 6 wins, 5 draws, 6 losses. That's 24 points out of a possible 51.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, so it's a huge turnaround. Obviously, it's a long season, and the back end of the season it appears to be more weighted towards home games as well, which it tends to be. You know, with the situation that New Mexico United finds itself in with the stadium, and yeah, it's one of those where if you can start, the league will be taking notice of this. And all of a sudden, teams maybe don't have a blueprint for how to come here and quiet the crowd down, and it'll be a little intimidating. And, you know, it's a great time to kind of get on a little run here.
Cross coming in. It's dealt with by Kalen Ryden.
And on the other side of that, like how tight it was. We talked about at halftime with how tight the league is right now. El Paso fallen off a cliff recently. Last 5 games, 3 losses, 2 ties, I think it is. And you know, it's you know, if a team goes on a good run, it can be huge. Like New Mexico United, there's no denying they're on a very, very good run right now. El Paso, not so much, you know, and they're starting to slide down the league all of a sudden.
El Paso, Oakland tied 0-0 at the half right now. We're going to pause for a hydration break. And it actually looks like we're going to see a sub here for New Mexico. The goal scorer, Nicky Hernandez, going off, replaced by Greg Hurst. For Nicky Hernandez heading off the pitch. Elvis has officially left the building here, Chris. So let's have a look at the 3 goals, the onslaught from New Mexico. All 3 goals occurring within 15 minutes of gameplay. And opening up here with Harry Swartz.
Yeah, and that's the assist for tonight for Armando Moreno, adding to his tally for the season as well. And then here's his goal. He picks up his goal as well. And that first touch, second touch just to steady himself. Third touch pops it through the keeper's legs. Great finish as well.
And this, the first goal for New Mexico United for Nicky Hernandez, as this one's going to bounce out, and he absolutely unleashes on this one.
Yeah, just keeps his head down, and the celebration as well. But did you notice who else was involved in the build-up? Yes, it was Bruce. Yes, it was Hernandez early on as well. But there's Moreno on that left-hand side, and a lovely little dance by Hernandez in front of the home fans.
We've got our New Mexico Mutual official attendance here tonight. 10,813 fans here at the Lab. That is I believe, the second largest crowd of the season here for New Mexico, just behind opening night. It was just over 11,000, but incredible to see the black and yellow faithful out once again, Chris, celebrating Meow Wolf Night. It was another scorcher here in the Duke City today. Temperatures getting up in the high 90s once again, and so no surprise to see a great crowd following a beautiful day.
No, obviously, yeah, and it's, you know, it's the whole Southwest is baking right now, right, with that thing, but it's actually a really nice evening here in the ballpark. Little breeze coming in as well, and you know, now the sun's gone down, I think everyone's enjoying the night, and just looking around the crowd, all of the costumes walking around, this is always a fun one that people circle on the calendar, and clearly a lot of people have, because so many people have turned up.
Here's Sanchez. That ball cut out by Sam Hamilton. So we've been mentioned. Big shout out to Somos Mas, one of the news outlets that covers New Mexico United here. As it looks like we've got a sub here. Johnny Fennick will be entering the match as he replaces Aldair Sanchez. But as we were saying, Chris, we have been fact-checked. There have been 2 3 home match winning streaks in New Mexico United history, both coming in 2021. When Troy Lesane was in his last season here at the helm of the black and yellow. So that substitution there for Sacramento, brought to you by REDW, CPAs, and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity.
Johnny Fennick, if I'm not mistaken, he played for FC Tulsa last year. I believe, so obviously I'm from a little town called Prudhoe in England. He's actually from the next town over called Brighton. Can you believe that?
Small world, especially as we saw here over the midweek with the international friendly. There was a number of fans that made their way down from the UK as Sac Republic looking to pull one back. Great defending there from New Mexico as they had to get that right.
Yeah, had to get the defending right there, yeah, but it was great to see, like, so many people actually travelling all the way from England. And a little shout out that the people who did come here, they were a little hesitant because there was some bad press surrounding Albuquerque. Anybody's thinking about coming to visit Albuquerque, they're not sure they should talk to any of those guys who came up from England because they absolutely loved it. Every single one of them have expressed how they would love to come back, want to visit again, and because they were so welcomed. The New Mexico faithful, the New Mexico people are so welcoming, and they had an absolute great experience out here.
Here's LaGrassa. Matt LaGrassa. Offside flag goes up there. Yeah, and not a ton of traveling fans here this evening, but while we were down pitch side in the pregame, I did see a family of Sac Republic fans sitting down towards the midfield, and so always great to see traveling fan bases here.
It really is. It just adds to the atmosphere, right? It adds to the buzz, especially when there's a decent amount of them here as well. But even not, it's just people talking, asking, where they're from, how long they're in town, or whether they live here and they're, exiles from Sacramento, maybe, or whatever, right? So it just adds, and obviously it's so much easier in places like England and in Europe to do that because of the sheer distances between clubs here in America. It makes it so much harder. So it's so special when they do come out.
Well, and especially when you look at the Western Conference, right? The proximity from teams in the Eastern Conference, sure, you still got to cover some ground, but it's not like the Western Conference here for New Mexico. You look at some of the closest, and I put closest in air quotations, when it comes to away days, you're talking times by cars. You're looking at Phoenix, which is a good 6 hours. Springs, also a good 6 hours, as this one flies back to Greg Hurst, and he sends this one over the bar. But El Paso is likely the closest away day, and that's just over 3 hours.
I mean, if you're driving a motorcycle and going a little too fast, maybe, yeah. I mean, that's getting there really bad. I'd say 4 at least. But yeah, that's what I was explaining that to. Obviously, with the Sunderland game, I was explaining that to did some interviews for the fanzines back there about what to expect. Saying like those rivalry games are 5, 4, 6 hours away, whereas the rivalry game Newcastle and Sunderland, it's 20 minutes, 15 minutes, door to door kind of thing,
How far could you get in England driving 4 hours?
Driving 4 hours? Yeah, you could get from the Scottish border to at least, Manchester, Liverpool, the northern reaches of London, maybe at an absolute stretch.
Goal scorer Harry Swartz here on the attack. Finds Portillo. Over to Suggs now. Suggs tried to go outside of the boot with that one.
I think Suggs was caught in two minds there. Was he going outside of his foot trying to find the top corner, or was he trying to drop the ball in behind for someone to run onto? I think he wasn't quite sure which one to do, so it ended up doing neither, unfortunately.
So Santi Moar will be subbed on, the Spaniard, as he replaces El Sayahin Armando Moreno, who notched a goal and an assist here tonight, scoring his team-leading 6th goal for New Mexico United.
Moreno getting the assist as well, moving him up to 3, tying him now. The leading assister for New Mexico United, Josh Doling, obviously not here anymore with Las Vegas Lights. So again, it just seems like the last month, Armando Moreno has really come alive for the team.
Santi Moar getting a late run here in the 80th minute. That substitution brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. And Chris, we saw Santi Moar play in the second half against Sunderland. It was a mix of first-team players. Mostly it was Academy and U23 players, though. And I gotta say, those Academy and U23 players, they look stellar out there against the Black Cats.
Yeah, it was really well. I'm going to sound sour here, but it was really well done by Coach Quill, where the fresh legs of Sunderland against the starters, let's say, of New Mexico United. Sure. The skill was just a little bit too much. If you'd started Academy players against that, it really could have been probably a little uglier.
Sure.
The second half, the energy that the academy players brought, absolutely tremendous, and caused Sunderland a lot of problems. Santi Moa, as soon as he stepped on the field, the first thing he got was a Tri-Hume absolute wrecking challenge. So maybe that was why he wasn't starting tonight.
Substitution here for Sac Republic. Rafael Jauregui. Also, Armando Moreno picked up a yellow card as well. So Jauregui enters as Bruce just got turned around there. He and Tim are battling for that ball. (3-0) here on Meow Wolf Night as New Mexico United look to pick up their first win on their biggest theme night in club history. Almost did it in 2021, Chris, against El Paso Locomotive, but it was Matt Boehner scoring in stoppage time to equalize things at 1 apiece that night. And for New Mexico, this is likely the best result they could have asked for. Going into the second half, you're nestled just outside the playoff spots, but as we mentioned, still in contention, just given how the points are shaping out so far. This one could really be the one to propel you into the second half of the season. As this one has to be saved by Tambakis. It was a valiant effort there on the bicycle kick from Keko. Just didn't make great contact, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, and a little more pace on that. If he got a little better contact, I think it was trouble because Tambakis was scrambling to get across his goal there, but comfortable save in the end. But the technique and the ability to contort his body when he was going, all his body weight was going the other direction as well, and got decent contact, to be fair. But yeah, go back to what you were saying, momentum is an absolute huge thing in any sport, and soccer specifically, right? And going into the second half of the season, New Mexico United have a ton of momentum behind them right now.
It was Cicerone that was replaced by Jauregui. So Sac will look to mount the comeback without their leading scorer here this season. As Cicerone heads off to get a breather with the midweek matchup against Phoenix Rising looming on the horizon. That one on Wednesday. Followed by a matchup next week against Las Vegas Lights. Next 2 matches for Sac Republic. Harry Swartz draws the foul. It's Swartz. To be wasting just a little bit of time. It was the Sacramento free kick there. Here's Wheat. So not only, Chris, are New Mexico looking to beat Sacramento, well, pick up the first win on Meow Wolf Night in club history, they're looking to beat Sacramento here at the Lab for the first time in club history.
Yeah, and that's huge. We mentioned that in the first half. It's a club that New Mexico United have really struggled against. Sac Republic tend to have their number on too many of occasions.
Yellow card shown to Sacramento Republic head coach Mark Briggs. Yellow card brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm.
Last time New Mexico United won against Sacramento, July 2019.
And if you recall, it was by way of a Daniel Bruce SportsCenter top 10 goal.
Brucey banger.
The Brucey banger. Which, if you ask some New Mexico United fans, they're probably biased, but they would tell you that that goal probably deserved to win Goal of the Year back in 2019.
Probably
arguably. But of course, they are a little bit biased.
Just a little. And it's good. Everyone is, right?
So winding down here, 85 minutes gone by. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand here at the Lab, and Chris, New Mexico United came alive around the halftime break. Harry Swartz scoring before the break. New Mexico adding 2 more after the break by way of Armando Moreno. Nicky Hernandez taking control of this match 25 minutes ago and never looking back.
Yeah, I mean, that goal right before halftime, great time to score, completely changes the complexion of the game, changes the halftime team talk for both coaches as well. But again, the game was really finely balanced at that time. In the second half, New Mexico United kind of gave up a little bit of possession. Sac Republic came out the blocks and were really pressing really high, causing issues, no denying that. And it was that one ball over the top to Daniel Bruce which stretched the game. And the rest was history. 2 goals in very, very quick succession really put this game to bed.
Zico Lewis on the attack. He's surrounded by a crowd of white shirts, trying to do it all himself. Bank of America corner kick coming up here. Zico Lewis out of Bermuda. Former Charleston Battery man. This one falls to Keko. Keko unleashes one. And that one had Alex Tambakis frozen on the spot.
Especially when Kalen Ryden got that touch as well. You can see his reaction. He had no idea. I don't think he knew where he was on the pitch, let alone where the goal was. That could have gone absolutely anywhere. Vicious ball in by Keko. You see, it's almost a shot the way he strikes it then. He's just looking for any kind of touch. And Kalen Ryden, it comes at him so fast, he just can't get out of the way of it.
Off the corner, and the second ball sent into the stands by Zico. Zico was actually drafted at 17th overall in the 2017 MLS Super Draft by New York Red Bulls. Later joined Red Bulls 2 on loan. Played with Charleston in 2019. He was named the team's Offensive Player of the Year in back-to-back seasons in 2019 and 2020. Then turned it up a level, was the team MVP in 2021. Also got some caps for the Bermuda national team as well under his belt. Here's the captain, Desmond. Backus comes out of his box. Flicked on for Bruce. And there the flag goes up. This is Lewis. Finds Desmond on the near side. This is Jauregui. Jauregui, the youngest goal scorer in Sac Republic history. Jauregui, just 18 years old, Chris. He's in his 4th season with the first team and his 3rd on a professional contract after coming through the club's development system. Incredible stuff.
We've seen that more and more within the USL as well, right? With young players, there really is a pathway now with the USL Championship and a trust in these young players as well.
Here's Greg Hurst, the Scotsman. Finds Rivas. He's got space. Rivas sends this one over the crossbar. Hearing there's going to be another sub here coming up for New Mexico. So over at the technical area, Milo Garvagnon waiting to enter the match. He's going to get his chance.
had a little joke with Milo before the game. Obviously, he scored his first goal for the first team against Sunderland on Wednesday. So caught him as he was running off the field after warm-up and asked him what he was doing scoring against my boys. He had a little giggle about that as well. So great to see him back out here again tonight.
Milo Garvagnan, the Albuquerque native, he'll replace the goal scorer Harry Swartz. So now all 3 goal scorers have been subbed off here for New Mexico. And we're now into New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. 4 minutes added on. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. We've got a second here. We'd like to let you know that the USL's second annual Summer Showcase signals the start of the sprint to the finish. Philip Goodrum and FC Tulsa head west to take on Romario Williams and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. It's FC Tulsa and Switchbacks Wednesday, August 9th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Romario Williams, of course, former New Mexico United man. Suggs comes up with the interception. New Mexico could be onto something. Here's Moar, feeds it down to Suggs, back to Moar, and Moar sends it wide. And the offside flag was up on the near side anyway. As we get another look here at this TLC replay. Some link-up play between the 2 first-year players, Josh Suggs and Santi Moar.
That was some really, really neat interchanges. Confidence just coursing through this team, this New Mexico United team as well.
Free kick coming up here. Fans can't watch the match. Turn on at SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access. That's Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app. One more minute to go of the minimum of 4 added on here in the second half. As New Mexico looking to vault their way up the standings here. +3 tonight. Ball cut out by Hamilton right in front of Zico. And coming up here for the black and yellow. So Chris, as we look at the upcoming run here for New Mexico, on the road at Orange County, on the road at Hartford, then back here against reigning champs San Antonio, then on the road at San Diego Loyal. It is as tough as they come for the next 4.
We were talking about that just the last couple of days. The remaining fixtures for New Mexico United, they do have a tough run in, so if they are going to, in fact, make a run and make a push, then they're going to have to do it the hard way, based on strength of schedule, if you will. But I tell you what, right now, no one wants to play New Mexico United.
Especially after this performance, as Desmond lofts this one into the box. Suggs battling with Gurr. Keko. And that's the full-time whistle here at the Lab. New Mexico victorious on Meow Wolf Night for the first time. Also victorious here at home over Sac Republic for the first time in club history. As the black and yellow led tonight by Armando Moreno. He picked up a goal and an assist. He's our man of the match, presented by Pepsi, as El Sayahin leads New Mexico United in goals scored with 6 on this USL Championship campaign. We look to Harry Swartz for our play of the match, as his goal in the 45th minute got things started. Our play of the match is brought to you by Bud Light, and he had 8 passes in the final third. The Boston native tacking on his 3rd goal of the campaign as well. And our save of the match, of course, to Alex Tambakis, had a couple of big saves in the 43rd and 82nd minute, presented by Invigorate Roofing. Chris, your thoughts?
Statement win. I really do think it's a statement win. The top of the table team comes into town, and don't get it wrong, New Mexico United did not have it all their own way, but they put them to the sword.
Put them to the sword indeed. Full time here at the Lab. 3-0 your score, presented by Duke City Cares, your medical family. We'll be back on the other side of this to tie this one up.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
From day one, REDW has been an integral partner and one of the first companies to say yes to the crazy idea of this soccer team that we all love. Because of REDW's belief, support, and expert financial guidance, United is in a better place today. Their focus on community-first initiatives is perfectly aligned with United's ethos. When they say integrity counts, they mean it, and we are forever grateful and thrilled to be partnered with REDW.
When you get proven quality, Smith's fresh for everyone.
Back here at the Lab, it's a fireworks celebration on Meow Wolf Night as New Mexico United victorious over top of the West, Sacramento Republic. My name's Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst here in the booth. And Chris, let's just go ahead and jump right into it with our full-time highlights presented by Ferguson Law Firm. And it was a 3-point party for New Mexico here tonight.
Yeah, great result, and all started off with this goal here. Great work by Armando Moreno. Slips it into Harry Schwartz. Calmness to turn in the box instead of just slashing at it with his left foot. Little tug of his shirt, still manages to find the bottom corner.
That is the 3rd goal on the campaign for one Harry Schwartz. And you know, he loves scoring in black and yellow. Comes on his 60th league appearance for the club, and this Armando Moreno picking up his goal just a little bit later.
It's that man Moreno again, man of the match, and this is why an assist and a goal on the night as well. And there, just 2 touches to settle himself, and then pops it through the keeper's legs.
And New Mexico weren't done after that. Just 3 minutes later, it's the first New Mexico United goal for Nicky Hernandez as he laces this one past Danny Vitiello.
Yeah, and you can see there's a little bit of confusion in the box, couple of half chances, and he just pulls himself out to the top of the box. Ball finds his way to him and just absolutely sticks his foot through it. Manages to keep it down. Keeper has no chance with so many bodies in front of him.
It's a massive result here tonight for the Black and Yellow as they are the first team to score more than 1 goal in a match here against the Sac Republic side this season. Before we get out of here, let's have a look at our full-time stats presented by Duke City Cares, your medical family. Chris, this was a very entertaining game going back and forth despite Sac being held scoreless.
Yeah, I mean, look right there. There's 29 shots between the 2 teams, and you can see the possession in the second half. Sacramento definitely had a lot more possession, but it was the goals, the clinical nature of the goals by New Mexico United and how clinical they were in the final third. That was the difference tonight.
That was the difference tonight indeed as New Mexico pick up the first win at the Lab over Sacramento in club history. As we look forward for the Black and Yellow, 2 road matches before we're back here on August 12th as the Black and Yellow will face San Antonio FC. And that's going to do it for us here tonight. For everybody part of our broadcast, for our director, Gary Williams, for my color commentator, Chris Hurst, my name is Tyler Ortega. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.